Have you ever wondered what really happened to John Denver, the man who captivated the world with "Take Me Home, Country Roads"? Are you curious about the mystery of his death, which, after nearly 3 decades, has finally been unraveled, but with a truth more heartbreaking than we could have imagined? Or did you know that behind his warm smile and gentle voice lies a deeply emotional story of love, loss, and hidden corners few could have guessed? Stay with me, for today, we will journey together through the life of John Denver, from his nomadic childhood, the brilliance of the stage, to the profound lessons he left behind. Today, I will guide you through a story not just about music, but about the heart of a man who touched millions of souls. Are you ready? Let's begin. Picture a boy born in Roswell, New Mexico, on the last day of 1943. That was Henry John Deutschendorf Jr., the man the world would later know as John Denver. Growing up in a military family, with a father who was a U.S. Air Force pilot, young John lived a rootless childhood, moving across America. Have you ever thought that those journeys might have planted the seeds of his love for nature in his soul? The vast fields, the majestic mountains, all became the wellspring of inspiration for his timeless songs. John's father, a record-setting B-58 pilot, once dismissed his son's musical ambitions, telling colleagues that John, a musician, would never make it. But, dear friends, John proved him wrong, and so much more. At age 11, his grandmother gave him a guitar, a simple gift that changed his life forever. Can you imagine it? A young boy clutching his guitar, strumming his first melodies, drawing inspiration from Elvis Presley and the folk musicians of the 1960s. From Texas Tech, where he studied in college, to Los Angeles, where he chased his musical dreams, John honed his talent and took the name Denver to honor the capital of Colorado, a land he loved passionately. He attended Arlington Heights High School in Fort Worth, Texas, and spent one summer as a guide at Six Flags Over Texas. These small details shaped a John Denver who was so real, so human, don't you see? In 1969, a major turning point arrived. His song, "Leaving on a Jet Plane," became a hit through the voices of Peter, Paul, and Mary. Do you remember the feeling of hearing a song that touched your heart for the first time? That's what John Denver brought to the world. In the 1970s, he soared to international stardom with songs like "Take Me Home," "Country Roads," Annie's Song, "Rocky Mountain High," "Sunshine on My Shoulders," and "Thank God I'm a Country Boy." Those songs weren't just music, they were stories of home, love, and the beauty of America's nature. John's warm tenor voice, blended with the gentle strum of his acoustic guitar, melted the hearts of millions. Each of John's songs was a vivid painting. "Take Me Home," "Country Roads" evoked a longing for home, even for those who had never set foot in West Virginia. "Annie's Song" was a heartfelt love letter, written in just 10 minutes on a ski lift in Colorado. "Rocky Mountain High" celebrated the grandeur of nature. Do you have a favorite John Denver song? Perhaps "Sunshine on My Shoulders," with its melody as soft as morning sunlight, or "Thank God I'm a Country Boy," brimming with life and joy? Those songs have become part of our collective memory, binding us across time. But John was more than a singer. He was a multifaceted artist, starring in the 1977 film "Oh God," alongside comedian George Burns. That movie revealed a John who was approachable, sincere, with a smile that captivated the world. He also hosted special television programs, wrote music tirelessly, and remained true to his folk and country roots. He continually evolved his sound, but never lost the authenticity that made him a legend. John had a vast heart and loved Colorado so deeply that he made Aspen his home. The majestic Rocky Mountains inspired Rocky Mountain High, not just a song but a declaration of awe for nature. In 1974, Colorado honored him as the state's official poet, a rare distinction. Did you know? In 2007, Rocky Mountain High was named an official state song of Colorado, and in 2014, Take Me Home, Country Roads became an official song of West Virginia. These songs have become cultural icons, woven into the memories of generations. Beyond music, John was a tireless activist. He founded the WinStar Foundation to educate about the environment, worked with UNICEF, and advocated for wildlife conservation. He believed we must protect the Earth for future generations. He also supported space exploration, seeing it as a leap for humanity, and lobbied for NASA. Moreover, he stood before the U.S. Congress to oppose music censorship, defending creative freedom. Don't you see? John didn't just sing, he lived for noble ideals, always striving to make the world a better place. But, dear ladies and gentlemen, John's life wasn't all light. He had his shadows, his pains, which anyone can relate to. In 1967, he married Annie Martell, a girl from St. Peter, Minnesota. Annie was not only his partner, but his muse. Annie's song was written to express his love for her in a burst of creativity on a ski lift. They adopted 2 children, Zachary and Anna Kate, and John took immense pride in being a father. He once said, "The best thing about me is that I'm the father of my kids. That's enough for me to be remembered by." From 1968 to 1971, John and Annie lived in Edina in Minnesota, a peaceful place far removed from the mountain passion he later embraced. As his career skyrocketed, especially after Rocky Mountain High, his love for nature deepened. That song was inspired by a camping trip with Annie and friends, an experience that ignited his passion for the outdoors. They moved to Aspen, Colorado, where John found peace among the towering mountains. But the pressures of fame strained their marriage. In 1982, John and Annie divorced. In a heartbreaking moment, John used a chainsaw to cut their marital bed in half, an act that spoke of his profound pain. Annie later shared that they were too young, not mature enough to handle John's sudden fame. Though they parted, Annie remained a vital part, the inspiration for his immortal melodies. In 1988, John found love again with Australian actress Cassandra Delaney. They had a daughter, Jessie Bell, and settled in Aspen. But this marriage, too, faltered, ending in divorce in 1993. John expressed bitterness, feeling deeply wounded. These personal struggles, combined with the weight of fame, sometimes plunged him into depression. But, dear friends, there is no evidence he abused substances. As some malicious rumors suggested, John remained a man with a sincere heart, spreading love through his music. John deeply loved his children. Zachary inspired A Baby Just Like You with its tender lyric, "Merry Christmas, Little Zachary." He said Zachary, Anna Kate, and Jessie Bell were his destiny, meant to be his. Fatherhood was what he cherished most, above fame or music. Now, we come to the most heartbreaking part, the mystery of John Denver's death. On October 12, 1997, he was piloting an experimental Rutan Long Easy aircraft off the coast of California. And then, tragedy struck. The plane crashed into the Pacific Ocean, taking the life of an artist the world adored. Have you ever wondered what really happened? For years, fans speculated, grappling with unanswered questions. The truth has now been revealed, but it's not easy to bear. Investigators found that the plane's fuel selector valve was in the wrong position, causing the engine to starve of fuel and fail mid-flight. The aircraft had undetected design flaws, and its safety features were inadequate. John had complained about the fuel system, but he didn't receive the necessary support from the manufacturer. Some claimed he flew without a license, but that doesn't change the fact that negligence and irresponsibility contributed to the tragedy. Moreover, John was facing personal challenges. His divorces, the pressures of fame, and bouts of depression may have clouded his judgment. However, there's no evidence that drugs or alcohol were involved in the crash. It was a perfect storm of technical errors and human vulnerability, a combination that stole a great talent. A friend of John's once said, "Only the person in the cockpit knows what happened." Perhaps, dear friends, we will never know the full truth. Do you feel the same sorrow I do? John Denver, who sang of life's beauty, left us in a moment of tragedy. But his story doesn't end there. His death became a painful lesson for the aviation industry, prompting improvements in pilot training, stricter oversight of experimental aircraft, and higher safety standards. His legacy is not only his songs, but a reminder to cherish life and protect one another. Fans, people like you and me, still adore John through his timeless melodies. They call him a soul too gentle for the spotlight, a poet with a heart of gold. They ask that he be allowed to rest in peace, untainted by sensationalized stories. I agree, my friends. John was more than a singer. He was a devoted father, a guardian of nature, and a man who lived fully for his ideals. Think of his songs. Take Me Home, Country Roads, stirs a longing for home. Annie's Song is a love letter to the woman he cherished. Rocky Mountain High is a hymn to nature. These songs have become part of our shared memory, connecting us across time. A fan once shared that meeting John in Colorado, he always smiled, ready to chat like an old friend. That's the John Denver we love. Not just a star, but a genuine human with an open heart. As we close today's story, I invite you to do something small. Play a John Denver song, perhaps Annie's Song, or Take Me Home, Country Roads, and let those melodies take you back to simpler, emotional days. Will you do it? Let John's music remind us to cherish nature, love our families, and live with a sincere heart. Thank you, my dear friends, for joining me on this journey. If you love this story, please leave a comment, share your thoughts, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more meaningful stories. Wishing you a peaceful day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.